Yeah.
How you guys feel?
There we go. I feel like it was kind of exactly what we thought it was going to be. Maybe the score was slightly different. I think I said like 24-23-6 where we were at, Paul.
Yeah.
The Jets did get 2 scores.
2 touchdowns instead of 2
shockingly.
field goals.
Instead of 2 field goals.
And this, yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I felt like this was going to be a game that the Patriots had control of, but it wasn't ever really going to look great. And I think we kind of got a game that the Patriots were in control of that didn't really look great.
Yeah, no, it's true. They had, some moments when they had to come through and some big plays.
Yeah.
The defense did what they do. They came out and watched the Jets go right down the field. But, just again, Drake Maye, my expectations on a Thursday night were not perfection or, great. I just thought he did what he had to do. He made the plays he had to make. It wasn't, a flawless win by any means, but on a short week, just to get to 9 wins. I mean, I think that ensures that this team, I know that it ensures this team will have a winning record this season. I know the goals are a lot higher, but when we talked about coming into this year, everyone wants to know what your prediction is. I think the team just deserves a tip of the cap to reel off 8 straight wins after starting 1-2 on the season. And I don't know if anyone saw that coming. And, credit to the coaching staff, to Drake Maye, great strides made. And now I think they really have big things ahead of them, and they deserve to because they played really, really well here. And just good complementary football. Didn't let the mistakes bog them down. Did enough to pull away and get the victory.
Exactly. 8 in a row, like you mentioned. What do you two think says about, we talk about mental stamina, the way they're able to regroup week by week at this point. What does this say to you guys as
they're reproducing. It's not easy to do. And the last couple of years, you realize how hard it is to win in this league.
Absolutely.
And, just now it's completely changed. Again, Paul, we see 3rd and longs get converted. That was a death sentence to the Patriots teams of the last couple of years. So, the consistency, finding ways to do it week in, week out, not making the critical big mistakes. This is a real football team now, and I think they showed it again tonight here on a short week. These games are always weird, divisional games, but they did what they had to do.
Well,
that's pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that if this game were in a vacuum, that you'd say, okay, and we're going to talk about them over the next, whatever, hour and a half or so, hour 45 minutes. Did someone say hour and a half?
Yeah.
There were things that certainly I think Mike Vrabel will be able to show the team and go over. It was not perfect, but your quarterback is pretty close to perfect right now. I really liked the way he looked in the pocket tonight. I thought he was really calm in the pocket, quiet with his feet, and had his eyes downfield all night. So I like some of the things that he did. They got some work to do offensively to maximize some of their opportunities. And defensively, there was some issues tonight defensively. We'll get into it as we break it all down, but this is kind of what we had asked for. Just don't mess around. Don't turn the ball over. Don't give any free points away. Don't make it easy on an underdog. And, they checked off all those boxes. This game, in my view, it was never over until that last 4th down drop pass by the Jets. But I never really felt this game was in doubt at all, ever. Even when they went down 7-0, obviously we've seen that a million times before.
That's part of the routine at this point.
I never thought this game was in doubt. In terms of like nods and everything, I'm inundated with people. Christian, I will come and find you. He's Chris with the TIAN making an AI Paul. That's not cool. There was no nod tonight per se, but I never felt like this game was in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does. I think I'm just usually kind of generally on edge, and that's probably because I'm working during
Trauma.
it, and you're like, oh God, am I gonna have to blow this up? And the Jets put a couple drives together.
Because you're right. If the guy catches the 4th down pass, it's now you can get a
again.
You get a touchdown. They had 3 timeouts. They wouldn't even have had to onside kick if they didn't want to. They probably would have. But it's 27-21, and who knows?
Yeah.
So, I don't think the game was necessarily over. I just never felt like the Patriots were threatened. Certainly not in the second half.
No, not after that first drive down the field. And I thought, look, is this going to be the game? Kind of, we talked about it before. You'll know it pretty quick if they came out flat. Turns out they weren't flat. They were just the same old Patriots defense that allows the first touchdown drive. That's just what they do. It definitely is still bugging me, though, when it happens.
It's crazy that it keeps happening.
But at the same time, turned it around. forced a bunch of 3-and-outs, and you could tell that they were starting to roll, and just felt like a matter of time
Forced
before
as
the
many
Patriots.
3-and-outs tonight as you think.
Yeah, well, really 3 in a row. I
Jets
think.
were pretty good on third down tonight.
They were very
Yeah.
good on third down tonight. That's a fair point,
8
Paulie.
for 14.
I think that's coming up later in the
And
show.
eventually, that's
And
a
not in the
tease.
goods.
Stick around. All right. That being said, let's get to the good, the bad, and the injured.
Now it's time for the good,
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Cool.
the bad,
Hey, what happened?
and the injured.
You all right, gay?
All right. It's time. Let's start with the good. A lot to talk about.
Mike,
Yeah.
you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. I'm gonna put Drake up there.
I was going to.
Oh,
You
you
took
were
your
gonna take
answer.
Drake?
You shouldn't let him go first.
No, I got to. I just continue to be impressed by the kid. And I mean, it's just every week he's making a throw that you're like, oh my God. I mean, maybe his best throw of the night was drop. I mean, the one to Mac Hollins down the
Yeah,
field.
is that vertical?
I mean, this is like,
Perfect
it was
throw.
like
Just
60,
beautiful.
70 yards in the air, just
Yeah.
dropping back. Here it is
Yeah, I
if you're
wanna
watching
see it
on
again.
video. Just absolutely uncorked one. And
Ugh.
credit the Jets defensive back there for, getting
Yeah,
a
it's
hand
a
and
good
punching
play
it
by
out.
the
Good
defensive
him.
back,
Yeah.
but that ball's got to get caught.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to be caught.
Tough. Usually those are ones Matt Collins comes down with. But,
yeah, we'll give him a pass.
Right.
But Drake, it's just looking at some of the chunk plays. That's to me like let's just highlight those for a minute because when I said the old Patriots teams of the last couple of years, they get in a 3rd and 7 or more, and it's like, oh, that's over. It's over. But the big throws that he had, I mean, it's just on 3rd down, 17-yarder, to Matt Collins. Sorry, that was not a 3rd down pass, but just the chunk plays that they're able to get. I thought on that second drive too. I mean, a 23-yarder to Hunter Henry, then a 12-yarder to Hunter Henry on 3rd down. Just continues to pick up new sets of downs when it in the past few
In
years
creative ways
it
at
looks
that.
dead. And we're seeing just continued excellence. He looked really comfortable to me tonight. And I think the overall trajectory of Drake has just been really impressive. Where there have been a couple games over the last handful or so where you felt like it's maybe a little sped up, felt like he's maybe getting out of the pocket a little bit. Tonight, it just felt like he was cool, calm, and collected, making all the throws. And this is, what we've seen for the majority of this year with Drake Maye is just, nothing really seems to rattle him. He's got a really calm presence about him, and he's delivering throws when he has to deliver them. So, really just when I look at Drake and how he's playing now, I just have such confidence with the Patriots. I'm like, that's where Paul, I still get nervous, but when I watch Drake, I'm like, man, it just seems like a matter of time before he's going to make these plays down the field. So Drake Maye, up on the good list, and what a first 11 games of the season for that kid in his second year. Just super impressive.
I thought he was really impressive just with his, like I said, how quiet he was in the pocket. Under control with his movements, and obviously, the accuracy was there again. So absolutely, he was very impressive tonight.
In that same vein, Stephon Diggs, not the top of the list, but at the top of the list
sure.
overall, over 100 yards in this one, 11 targets, 9 for 105 yards.
Yeah.
Just overall great performance. And I have to add a little note to this. We're in the media press box, and we find out that Cardi B has had a baby. And in the moment, I'm like, is she in labor right now? Like, this is insane. Turns out TMZ decided to drop the story. Well, Cardi B decided to post during the game that they had the baby last week. So just tying it all together, it was very impressive. He had a baby last week. This is probably new to some people.
We had no
but
idea.
of course, having a great game on the field as
So
well.
he's
But
also on the,
I had to tie in the pop
on the
culture
good list
aspect
for
for
that.
everyone. Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations to Diggs.
Congratulations to the Diggs and Cardi B.
But he continues to be the guy on third
So
Absolutely.
down,
reliable.
especially.
Absolutely.
And his route running must have been, and I didn't watch every
Incredible.
replay, but he was so open tonight.
Yeah.
He must have really run some good routes. But yeah, I absolutely quiet 100-yard game.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it.
It
Yeah,
didn't seem like.
sure.
I mean, the longest catch was 22 yards. It wasn't like I think he had a lot of sort of 15 to 20, to 22
Yeah.
yards. He was very productive once again.
Absolutely, yeah.
You got
Been
one, Paulie?
invaluable. So I had both of those on my list, but I'm going to go to Will Campbell and Morgan Moses, who I thought both on the edges tonight. The Jets have nothing defensively, but what they do have is two pretty solid edge rushers in Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson. And I thought both Campbell and Morgan Moses were excellent. And there was very little edge pressure. I think Johnson had a sack, but it was actually Hunter Henry that he beat on that sack. There was very little, I didn't even think, pressure. I mean, there might have been a time or two that those edges got through, but I thought this may have been Will Campbell's best game in pass protection. And I thought Morgan Moses was every bit as good on the other side. So I give, again, those two edge rushers are pretty good players. Like the Jets lost a lot on defense, but they still have that edge pressure. They didn't blitz. They wanted to do the same thing that Todd Bowles did last week. And to an extent, it worked because it kind of kept the score down a little bit. But those guys were not a factor. So Campbell and Moses were on my good list.
Good.
Good one.
Fred?
Yeah.
Welcome
Hello.
in.
So
Drake
we have Drake Maye, Stephon Diggs, and I just credited the tackles on the
Yes.
good list.
What did you guys have?
That's yeah.
I
That was
just said
we
it.
just-
Drake
we-
Maye,
Oh.
Stephon Diggs.
Henderson, of course, on that list as well. We'll get into him in
Oh, yeah.
just a second. But
Okay.
we want to
Throw
hear
him
what
on
you,
We'll
what you have
let
to say.
Freddie-
I mean, I would put Tonga up there. I think he played decently. It was a weird game. It's one of those division games. You know,
What's the matter?
I know
Fred?
you're gonna
Fred,
laugh.
You're
at,
not happy.
I know you're gonna laugh at me, Paul, but the Jets were angling their kickoffs to the right, trying to see if Chisholm would screw up. He didn't. He just took the ball up, you know, and got his nose upfield, and
You don't want me to say the things that you say during games, right?
no
You
mishaps.
Off the record.
You get mad at me when I do
Oh,
that,
off
so,
the
so I
record.
won't.
I said, you know, he doesn't have a lot of good instincts, you know, to like find gaps. But like I said, he
Fred,
just
we're
got
being,
his
we're being serious. We're on the good list.
he
here.
just got his nose up the field. That's all he did, and he didn't screw up.
You came in too early.
Do you seriously have anything on the good list?
Other than Diggs and May and
We're just starting.
yeah,
We just
Campbell.
started.
Henderson.
Yeah.
Guy had 3 touchdowns.
You're fresh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
We
mean,
haven't-
Oh, you weren't?
yeah.
No.
I don't like
he
the way
did
you
okay.
answered that.
You
Makes me
sound like you're like me.
No,
He's got to be on the list because you scored 3 touchdowns.
somebody,
but
Yeah.
somebody
someone
had
to score the
yeah,
touchdowns.
somebody had to score them. Then you know when they get that close. Not
Yeah,
that they did
no.
that all the time.
I
But,
agree with you, Fred.
you know,
I mean, he's certainly
I think the only
fine
two-
on the good list.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
just
think,
like the-
I think,
3.3 a
I think the
carry.
only superstar in the game was Drake Maye.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of those plays he made
Yep.
were just
Outstanding.
MVP caliber. Diggs was consistent
That's what I
and
like.
you know a good outlet for him. And you know third down, he was the guy. But in terms of like you know really playmaking and it was Drake Maye.
Yep.
It was Drake Maye.
No, I agree. I put him right up at the top, and I don't know. Part of me, for some reason, just keeps waiting for like, oh, maybe he's going to have a bad game, or maybe we're going to see a little bit of the inconsistency we saw last year when he was a rookie, and it just doesn't happen. I mean, he has,
I
you
think
know,
you got that a little last week.
yeah,
That
right.
was a
Like, and
little
that's like a
blip.
couple plays, like
It's
a couple little blip,
Yeah.
and then he bounces back, and it's just so fun to watch. I mean, the kid is just exciting every week. It's, you know, I when I was coming in today, I was like, all right, another Drake game. Let's see what this kid's got. I mean, it's just you
Yeah.
feel the momentum
I mean,
rolling.
to me, the most amazing play he had was the one where he went to the sideline and he was like an inch from going out, but he kept his eyes downfield. A lot of players would just be like, all right, I'm going to go out. And gets that ball downfield. It ended up being like a 23-yard pass or something like that. I forget what it was. But just keeping those eyes downfield, never giving up on the play, yet remaining safe, you know?
Yeah, Evan's not here, so I'm going to feel comfortable saying this because I feel like
Oh.
I'm in a safe space with you
Careful,
guys.
careful.
I was really happy to see how he played tonight because I don't
Yeah.
think the last 2 were
Yeah.
quite as good as like the previous 6
Yeah, I agree.
ish.
Yep.
You know, and I thought he was, you know, I was a little worried like, is he starting to trend down a little bit? Are they starting to figure him out a little bit? You know, so this was,
Yeah.
I thought this was a good sort of bounce back for him.
You know,
And it's nice that he's bouncing back from a pretty high level. It's not
Yeah.
bouncing back from a 54-yard passing day like
Yeah.
Justin Fields had last week.
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and okay, we haven't got to the bad
Yeah,
list yet.
he's
So
ready.
No,
Champing
no.
at the
I
bit
got-
to
I
get
got-
to the
I got
best.
more goods, Mike. Go ahead.
No, go
Yeah.
ahead. You throw one up.
Yeah,
I gotta
that's fine.
regroup here.
So I had so we talked about Henderson, and I would put just specifically the goal to goal runs. I thought on the first one, the offensive line basically picked him up and carried him into the end zone, which is really good toughness, good physicality, good finish. In the second one, they just blew a hole open that I could have run through. Owenu comes around on the pull. I think Ben Brown was an eligible on the second one, and he wrecked his guy. So I just wrote like the goal-to-goal offensive line performance. Now, I don't think they ran the ball very well other than those goal-to-goal runs. The 2 7-yard touchdown runs were
that's
basically
fair.
the highlight of the night for the running game. So Henderson, 3 touchdowns, certainly on the good list. And I just thought specific mention of those goal-to-go runs.
Yeah, I like it. Another one I just want to highlight was just ball security. We had 3 straight games. Drake had a turnover. Came into this game saying you just got to play clean tonight. You know, you can't beat yourself. And I thought this was a great night to not have a turnover, to be safe with the ball. You know, even the sacks that he took, it wasn't too hairy. You know, he went down. I like that. Live to fight another day. But I just think if you ever needed a night without turnovers, this was it. They got rid of him.
Right.
You know,
I mean, that's how you lose to the Jets
Yeah,
on
I
a
mean,
Thursday
that's what-
night.
that's what you
is
kinda
have
wait.
turnovers.
And I
Yeah.
would just throw into that 2 penalties
Yeah.
in the whole
Yep.
game,
Right.
too.
Perfect.
So Thursday night,
Yep.
you're afraid of being sloppy and tired, and you weren't.
Yep.
You were on
Well,
point.
you might have been a little. I mean, the execution wasn't, that great, especially on defense. But they got out of it. They got out of the game. And like again, everybody knows I do that blog, and I hear and I see what everyone's feeling because they're writing it down. The hundreds of comments, and people are like, "This is embarrassing. How can they let the Jets be close?" Blah blah blah. And listen, I thought it'd be a blowout, but I'm not surprised it was close. This is what happens. The Bills got blown out by Miami last week.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, especially with division games, especially on Thursday night. You ended up getting a 13-point win. Be happy with that. Be happy with that.
Yeah, I thought Paul described it well. It was, you never felt like the game was really in question, but it was never like, all right, it's over.
Like I never
it's
gave the
comfortable,
nod
you
until
know?
the guy dropped the 4th down pass.
Yeah.
So that's not really a nod when there's
Right.
150 left in the game,
Right.
but I never felt threatened.
All right,
Never
that being
felt
said,
threatened.
we have Christian Gonzalez live with us. Congratulations right after the win.
I appreciate it.
What's up, Christian?
What's going on?
So,
Good question.
right off the top, short week, quick turnaround. Obviously, an important game either way because of a division rival. How does it feel to get this one?
Yeah, it was a good one. The short weeks are hard, and a division game is always going to be, a fight regardless. No matter what 2 teams, it's the NFL. It's hard to get wins in the NFL. So, just coming out and putting the work in and earning this win.
Yeah. What's it like preparing for a Thursday night game? Because it is such a quick turnaround.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. Just everything's so sped up. Just you gotta watch a lot of more film because you're really not out there doing as much as far as practice. So you gotta lock in more mentally, more than you already do for a normal week. So just the speed and you gotta win recovery. You gotta get recovered faster and do things to have your body ready and your mind ready to go on Thursday.
Christian, I know it's still a ways to go, but you guys won 8 games the last 2 years combined. You've now got 9 wins in this season. You're assured a winning record. What can you say about getting to 9 wins at this point in the season?
Yeah, winning is hard in this league. Every team is talented, and it's just something we've talked about since OTAs when Braves came in and first team meeting. He said we want to go out and win games and have a winning culture. So just doing that and stacking and just coming to work every day and getting better. So it's nice, but one thing I appreciate, nobody in this locker room is satisfied. So we're hungry for more and just want to keep going.
Christian, what kind of test was it to have Justin Fields as a runner as often as he was tonight? 11 carries, a lot of those by design. What kind of wrinkle was that, and how do you feel like you guys adjusted to that?
Yeah, he did a great job being able to extend plays and make plays with his legs. Designed and scrambles, and that's credit to him because that's hard to do. That's hard to defend as a whole defense, not just the back end but the front 7. It makes plays longer, and he's a real talented player, and he can change the game with his legs. So you got to be on it, and we were able to get out of here with a win.
Well, yeah.
I got one more for you, Christian. Not to get past this win yet, but Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, really good receiving core coming up next week. What have you seen from those guys?
Oh yeah, for sure. Amazing receivers. Everybody, I think, in the world knows what they can do. So, we gonna enjoy this one tonight, and then tomorrow it's on to the Bengals and
Cincinnati.
just getting ready and we got some extra days to get some extra film in. So, enjoy this one and it'll be a fun matchup in a couple of days.
We'll get the film in, but get some rest in too,
Yeah.
please.
Enjoy the baby bye week.
Right.
Something
right.
tells me you guys are going to enjoy those 10 days off.
I think you will.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy sleeping in for once.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Christian.
Thanks, Christian.
Yep.
All right.
On to Cincinnati. He's pretty chill with us.
Yeah,
I love,
yeah.
Christian.
Well,
He
that's
loves us.
Christian Gonzalez.
Right.
He's just so cool,
He's
man.
the most
He's
chill
chill
guy
guy.
ever. And it was funny,
I had to
as he
shut him
was
down.
He's a fun
talking,
guy.
Chris is playing highlights of some of the plays that he was
Mm-hmm.
involved in, and there was a deep ball that Mitchell got behind him on early in the game. Little double move, caught him a little flat-footed, but just watching Gonzalez run after him,
The makeup speed. Yeah.
well, the guy dropped the pass. But I'm just watching him. Watch him run.
There-
Watch how
yeah.
calmly he's running.
Yeah.
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 It's like there's just
Sticking with his
such
man.
a fluid motion to everything that he does.
Yep.
Now, I'm not going to try to paint this picture as like a highlight reel play for Christian Gonzalez.
sure.
Like this ball hits Mitchell right in the hands, and it's got to be caught, and it's not. But I just was struck with how there's no panic in his game ever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
ever. He's just so smooth.
No, they're going to need him. That's why. I mean, I hated to turn the page quick to Cincinnati, but next week, him against Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, it's going to be a great A
I wonder if
matchup for
Eldred
those
watched
guys.
this game. He's
Yeah.
a big AD Mitchell fan.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a fan of him anymore.
That may have been the single worst
well, I think
receiving
that-
performance I've ever seen.
Well,
and I'm not,
now we
I'm
know
not
what the
exaggerating.
AD stands for. All drops.
Good one.
I mean,
I like it, Freddie.
that could have been your PFW cover this
Yeah.
week.
Right.
All drops Mitchell.
Ouch.
So I
AD
promise I'm
Mitchell,
not pandering.
6 targets, 1 catch.
But Christian Gonzalez was on my list. I don't think his numbers really gave him justice when you look at the performance that he had on this game. But he was on my list before we interviewed him, for the record.
Okay.
All right.
Just
Okay.
to continue our good
If you say-
list.
if you
No,
say so.
I'll show you. I'll show you my notes. Who else is on
I don't
your
know what
list?
I got.
What else you got,
I don't know. I
Fred?
think I got anything else.
So,
quality.
all right, I have I had Hunter Henry early in the game. I thought just his regular, reliable self. One of those third down catches with a guy right on him, draped all over him. He's able to, make the guy, fight through the contact and pick up the first down. Again, the other team scores and you slip up, all of a sudden you have a chance to be behind. So I thought early on, his numbers weren't great. I mean, 4 catches, 45 yards. And I would say the same kind of from Mac Hollins. And I would say Henry more than Hollins because of that missed opportunity on the deep ball late in the game. But I had both of those guys on my good list. I thought they showed up and made some plays.
Start by Hunter Henry there on that second drive, especially.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just. I mean, I feel like that about kind of all their receivers right now. It's like hard
That's
to say.
the one that I was talking
Yeah,
about.
they're
Thanks,
all
Chris.
on the good list, but they continue to just have guys step up in moments when they need them. Pop Douglas makes a play.
Yeah,
Hunter
Douglas-
Henry makes
Douglas
a
was
play.
good again tonight,
It's not, again, you're not going to go around, oh, he had 10 catches. It might be 3-4 catches, but at the same time, it's timely. He is confident and trusts all these guys in key situations, and it's just great for the room. Everybody's contributing. Yeah, Diggs had the 100-yard game, but everyone else was involved, and it just continues to feed on itself and continue to gather momentum in that receiving room. So it's a great sign.
You guys
Anything
have
else,
more?
Fred?
Good.
Yeah. Fred's not happy with this
I'm
win, so
surprised
I'm
he's
going to play the role of Fred, and I have a lot more.
No, but that's
Yeah.
not you. No, you got that wrong. I am happy with the win.
Okay.
You don't think they played great?
Well, no, they didn't. It's Thursday night. That's why I'm happy with the win because
I think people have.
It's a Thursday
I
night.
think people have suddenly developed undue expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, you thought they played great.
No, great, no, but
What would
I
you
think they
have
played
well,
pretty
I guess
good.
so for the bad. That's what
I
for the
think
bad.
they
I'll
played
take that.
pretty
I think
good.
they played well enough to get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Do you wish it was a blowout? Do you feel as though you'd be more comfortable if there was a?
Of course, I
Very-
wish it was
yeah.
a blowout. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
that's an obvious question.
Paul likes to. He wishes for the competitive games. I wish for the blowouts when
Yeah.
it's the Patriots. I don't want to see close games. Give me the entertainment with the other ones. I'm fully entertained by my team blowing out the
Yeah.
other team. But listen, I'm 9-2. Think
Yeah.
about it, man. We're
Yeah,
9
this is
and
not
2.
but it's not a season good, bad, and
That's
the
why we're
injured.
shocked to see shocked to see you sad though.
So I
I'm not
had
sad. I'm not
oh,
sad.
I had a
I'm just-
couple of
no, but when you're
individual-
talking about goods, like I'm trying to think of like individuals
I see what you're
that
saying.
had like
That really
good
stood out to you.
games,
Got
and it's
it.
hard to do.
That's fair.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I agree with your original assessment that that the star was May.
Yeah.
And he was the one who played the most closely to what we've come to accustomed
Right.
to.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
He was the difference between winning and losing. I
right. There
think.
was some up and down elements to some of
Yeah.
these other guys, but I thought early in the game, Jets try a little wrinkle with a little end around, throwback to the quarterback. Kayvon Chason is right on Justin Fields on a play that they're probably thinking we might be able to get a walk-in touchdown on.
Yeah.
Really nice play sticking with him. Jack Gibbons on a screen pass
I had him-
to Breece Hall, which is a big part of their offensive game plan is trying to get the ball to Hall at times in space. 2-yard loss with Jack Gibbons. So I'm not telling you that those guys necessarily were great in the game,
They made good plays.
but those were big plays.
Yeah, okay.
At times.
And I think
Okay.
that's what the good list is this game because, like you said,
Yeah.
in theory, they should have blown out the Jets. But there are a lot of people that stood out in specific moments where the game could have turned around in the Jets' favor, and they
Sure.
were like, "Okay, I'm going to step up
Yep.
and make sure that
Yep.
doesn't happen."
No, that was a particularly good play by
Yeah.
Chason because he was engaged and he saw Fields come out and was aware of that and disengaged and went with him.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a heads-up hit play by 44.
And
Now I
he even
understand where your
defended it
head's
well
at, though.
too.
Yeah.
He even defended the pass well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, you got anything?
I was just going to share a little bit,
some stats?
Paul, kind of backing up what you said about the pressure rate. It was, 35.1 pressure rate for the offense, which is their second best performance of the whole year, according to Next Gen Stats, second to Carolina. So, to
Now
your
the
point,
Jets-
the pass protection was
The Jets
better tonight
sat
than it's
back and did not rush a lot tonight. But like I said, they have two guys that are good edge rushers, and they rushed a lot, and they didn't get there a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's,
I have another thing that I don't think is minor.
been. Kobe?
I put the kick coverage tonight on the good list, and I'm going to add in, I think, Mike Vrabel. I think, and I don't know if he'll be asked about this because it's minutia that's probably not warranted in a post-game press conference, but I'd be curious when Matt comes in. I think they had 2 second-half touchbacks on kicks. I think they were both intentional.
Of course. Yeah.
I think that they had a lead, and they said to themselves, the only way we can lose this game is if we give some free points away to a team that's very dangerous
Yep.
in the return game. So I thought when they kicked off conventionally, they covered them well, tackled them around the 30 pretty much every time. I think there was a 28, a 29, a 31, somewhere around there. And then they had 2 touchbacks in the second half, one with a 21-7 lead and one when they kicked the field goal to make it 27-14. I thought that was an element of the game. That was one of the things that we all said. The only way the Jets can compete is if they
Couple special
get a
teams plays
special
or
team
turnovers.
score,
Yep.
and the
checked
Patriots
it
made
off the
sure that
list.
didn't happen. So
Yep.
it might be minutia, but I think it was important in the game.
Yeah. Yep.
I have one final silly one to add to the list.
The
Okay.
uniforms?
No,
Oh.
that could have been a good
That
one.
was on the good list.
That's
They
definitely
look
Definitely
sharp.
on the
They
good
look
list.
sharp.
Yeah.
They did look good. 2 69-yard drives for touchdowns, one in the second
Oh,
and
with
one in the
Gronk
third,
here.
with Gronk being
all right.
celebrated.
All right, I will allow that.
Oh, I
Very
didn't pick
childish.
up on that.
But
Okay.
yes, once I saw that second drive, I was like, I'm adding this to the list.
can
I
we
don't
just
care.
Very appropriate.
Can we just stop for a second? Like the half ends, and you're kind of like getting ready for halftime, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, like Gronk's
Yeah,
booming
literally.
voice,
Right.
like they're just pumping it into the press box. I'm like, that's right, I'm back. like
The
Gronk.
energy that he had, I was like, I need some of that
Oh,
for
he's
post game.
nonstop on that one.
It sounds like we're heading to the bad list now.
We're gonna head to the bad.
All
Sure.
right, who wants to?
Hey, how about those first drives?
Yeah.
I gotta
So
say
I just
it.
wrote
Every single
first
week.
drive WTF.
Yeah.
That's all I wrote in my
slow
book.
part,
That's what it
slow
was,
start
man.
per
Right
usual.
down the field again. A little bit of passing mixed in. Try to throw the comeback, the throwback pass there to Fields that they.
This was the worst
Defended.
one to me.
Yeah. Talk more about that.
14 plays.
Yeah.
Like, people have just been coming out
Over
with great,
7 minutes,
with
right?
great
Yeah.
scripts, right? They've been coming out with great scripts and going down, 6 plays, 80 yards, touchdown. This was like methodical,
Yeah.
converting third down after third down, some quarterback
4 or
runs,
5
some
third down
throws,
conversions.
slant to Mitchell. Imagine they completed a pass to Mitchell. I mean, that's like
Your guy
Yeah.
must have hated this offense. with the toss plays and the options and the college offense.
Well,
He must have hated this.
it was working here on this drive.
It
I think
was.
there were 4 third-down conversions. Fields did some damage running his legs. It
Yeah.
flashed back to that Chicago Bears game. I thought they had a pretty good plan with him. I like Paul asking Gonzalez about it. I'm guessing they were expecting that a little bit. But let's dovetail the first drive right into the third down defense,
Absolutely.
which they
Yeah.
did get off the field. After this for a few.
The rest of the
different
first
drives,
half was good. 3 and outs the rest of the first half. No 3 and outs
but
in the second half.
Not in the second half, and I'm not sure exactly what the answer is, but it's. Again, it just goes to this defense and analyzing it. And are these legitimate holes? Is this, just kind of how it goes within the play of the game that, some teams are going to, can make some conversions on you. But at the same time, I think there's just been some recurring problems, including in the red zone, which showed up again right on that first drive where, and it was, I know what Marcus Jones fell down on that touchdown.
Woodson,
or was
I
that in
think it was
coverage?
Woodson fell down.
Woodson fell down,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's been a lot of them that's been too easy. Like it's like there's a guy wide open, and I know a guy falls down, but still,
I
we've
think
seen
he
this
would have got beat
before.
anyway. He had a step.
Yeah, and I mean this is pitch and catch right here. You're watching the one inside, just a quick little inside slant. So I'm not sure how they fix this problem, but it's every week. It's every single week. Teams are coming out with a good plan and going right down the field.
Well, and the Jets, won the toss, but elected to
Yeah.
not
Receive.
defer.
that's what we said. I mean, it was
They-
like
they-
we're all sitting there going, "Oh, that's crazy."
Yeah.
And then
No,
we're like,
they had a plan,
well,
and they thought their plan would work, and they were right.
So that gets to my first bad.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to, we've been making a lot of the double score. Well, you got double zeros on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get set up basically in field goal range at the end of the first half. Thought they got a little conservative. Thought they ran the ball. You come out and run the ball on first down. That makes sense to me. But you get the too many men on the field penalty, so
Yeah.
it becomes 1st and 5, and then they ran it again.
Yeah.
I don't think you needed the second run. Then they go deep, and then they run a couple. They run a slant to Diggs, a little dump off to Henderson. You got it going, and then I thought they stalled out, and then you missed the field goal, which is another
The icing
one
of
on my bad list.
Andy.
So you come out in the second half and you get stuffed on the first drive, and you come away with no points. You had a couple of long yardage situations that you put yourself in, and you were able to get out of one of them and not the second one. They're just not great.
Yeah.
Similar to the good list, a lot of the people on my bad list were people that had bad plays that I felt like, again, could have shifted the momentum in the Jets' favor. And you mentioned Andy Borregales, them icing him, missing that 45-yarder. And he's
No,
been
you gotta
having a
have it.
great run so far
Did.
ever since week 1. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I was like, God forbid that was the game-winning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
goal.
no, you need it from him. He's been on a good heater. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not going to hold this totally against
Of
him. I
course,
mean,
yeah.
especially as a rookie. But like you said, he missed a field goal week 1. He missed 2 extra points in week 2. He's been good since then.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this isn't the start of another trend, and we're seeing Mike Vrabel
Mike
with
was
a little.
not happy with that.
Mike Vrabel looked like
As he
he was
should've,
about to
yeah.
put him on the
Right.
bad list as well.
Exactly.
But good bounce back for him though to
Yeah,
hit that other
of
one.
course, yeah.
That's similar distance, similar spot on the field. So a little bit of a bounce back there from Borregales.
Yep.
Who else?
Do you have anything, Mike?
Not off the top of my head.
All right,
No,
so
no bads.
So
I put Craig Woodson on there, but that was like, it was one play that really would just make me
Because
frustrated.
the one where he fell
yeah, where
down.
he fell,
yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
how do you lose
Listen,
your man like this?
Slippery.
I
I
know.
know,
I
yeah, it
know
was
he was
raining.
everyone's darling last week, but Kyle Williams.
Oh yeah, I had him.
He's back. He had that one game
missed
last
a
week,
route
and he's
on-
right back to everything. Just
Yeah.
doesn't look right
Mhm.
when the ball gets thrown his way.
Mhm.
I mean, like really bad.
Yeah.
What is going on with that?
it's a good one, Fred. I didn't have it written down. That's a good point.
Mhm.
He's just not. He just doesn't know his routes.
That's what- yeah,
he
he
has
missed
no
the first one, yep.
instincts. Even the one pass where May scrambled, he's got to come back to that ball.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is the one
he's
where I
looking
wrote
over
him
the
down.
wrong, the
Yeah,
wrong
it's like,
shoulder.
well,
I mean,
I don't know
mean,
if
right.
Drake's
Who's to
thinking
say?
that's a back,
right.
back
Who's
shoulder.
to say what's wrong or not? But what's clear to me is that they just don't have any chemistry yet, and that's the unfortunate part. And it hasn't really. I mean,
Kind of what I talked about
Yeah.
in the pregame.
Yeah.
Mike and I sort of said, we'd love to see him catch 4 or 5 balls. I don't care if it was for like 30 or 40 yards,
Yeah.
but
Right.
just look like he has a connection with the
Right.
quarterback, and it looks just like it did the first
He's
8
back
games,
to
9 games.
You thought that, okay, he had that play last week, give him some confidence. Maybe, he has that 3 or 4 catch game, like Paul said,
Yeah.
and
No, it's a good one, Fred.
yeah, we need booty back.
We do.
Yeah.
Give me my booty back.
I want my booty back.
I had
baby.
His
Gonzalez on my
hamstring.
bad list.
Oh, yeah, Gonzo.
I think he was fortunate to have a guy who evidently wears boxing gloves during the game. And I'm serious.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a guy just not be able to catch as many catchable passes in one game as Mitchell did tonight. There were at least 3. The bomb,
The Cowboys are like, yeah,
the
we got rid of him.
Colts.
The Colts, right. Yeah, the
The
Colts.
little
Texas,
one
though,
that
yeah. Close enough.
admittedly Fields made a bad throw to the outside when he really beat Gonzalez on that play. But he still had it in 2 hands. And then he had a little crossing route right before the Mechie touchdown. A little crossing route that goes literally right through his hands.
Yeah.
You never see NFL players have a ball go through their hands like that and not at least like it bounces off their hands.
It's almost like he's having vision problems.
So in all 3 of those plays, Gonzo was in coverage on. And, it doesn't show up. But
maybe just the presence of Gonzo.
I wonder,
It's
I
just
wonder
about
like,
to
just,
make the play.
Well,
Yeah.
it's,
that
that-
ball's got to get caught. I know this
Yeah.
is a bad
Yeah, it was
throw,
a bad
he had
throw,
caught
but
it, to be
Gonzo gets
honest.
caught up in the wash right there, and he gets beat. Like that,
Oh,
if
yeah.
that's a good throw, that's a big play.
yeah. Well, it
But he's got, I mean, look, 2 hands,
Yeah.
you have to catch that.
sets up a big game next weekend for Gonzo against some legit superstars.
Something tells me Gonzo will be a little more locked in
Be a little
next
more
week
amped
with that,
up.
with
a
that
little more
challenge.
rested, which is good.
They
With
can
that
actually
challenge as
catch the
opposed to
ball.
this guy.
Yeah.
I also had, I call them pick threes, even though it's a fumble recovery.
Right.
I mean, you got to put the game away right there and make it a 3-score game.
Yeah.
That's Fred. That's just poor to me.
Just poor to you? Yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like
Yeah,
you take
first-
over.
first
you-
and
you
10 at
take
the
over
11.
Was it even the 11?
I think so.
I thought it was
The
goal to
fumble
go, but
recovery?
you might be right.
Yeah.
4 plays, 3 yards, field goal. Not what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Not what you're looking for.
The
You
11.
get a gift on a fumbled snap. It's not even like you did anything to force a turnover. You get it gifted to you, and then you gift 4 points right back to the other team by not being able to put the game away.
Yeah.
Why? We joke around about the stupid nod, which is meaningless because, let's face it, hasn't been right in 15 years. You're looking for a nod. Well, that's the nod. That's the knockout blow. And you kick a field goal and you leave the team in the game.
Yeah.
Because
These are
it's 13 instead of 17.
see, these are things to me that are
That's
really
things that'll
valid
get you beat.
because these are things that'll get you beat against good teams in the playoffs, and that's I think what we've started to do analyzing this team is holding them to a standard of the playoffs and the things that will get you beat. And just as a prime example, you can't go into a playoff game and allow the other team just to go right down the field and score. I mean, it's sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
But they've
But
got
not
to figure out a
every
way to
week.
stop that trend. And,
Yeah.
you can't always play from behind right out of the chute. So I'll be interested to see, Fred, if other teams start taking the ball,
Yeah.
and testing them on it because
Yeah.
there aren't a lot of statistical weaknesses on this defense, but that one
Yeah.
and red zone are definitely
I mean, next week, a week from Sunday when they play the Bengals, with or without Burrow, they're putting up a lot of points.
Yeah.
So you let this team score first, and you're going to be in a shootout.
Mm-hmm. And to your point, in the press box, we were all talking about the fact that that's probably why the Jets took the ball, because they knew if they see that being
Yeah,
a
that
consistent thing.
That was Mike's theory.
Oh, I was on a different floor. Look at that. Everyone had the same
Yeah.
idea. But yeah,
some ball knowers on all levels.
know.
Yeah, sometimes
All levels.
sometimes the stats don't lie.
I got to
Exactly.
tell you, I still think it's dumb.
really.
Give them the
Taking
ball.
Taking
taking
it?
the ball.
Yeah.
Me too.
So let's just unwrap this
Was that
game for a
Santa?
second. So
It's random.
they took the ball and got as perfect as a start can be. So
Yeah.
not only you score a touchdown, you take 8 minutes to score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So you're shortening the game, right?
Yep.
You still should have been down 2 scores going into the second half when the other team's going to have the ball.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
to what end are
Why?
you taking the ball? What's the difference if you score first or second?
Right.
Like, give yourself a chance to get
when you come
that
back.
double score. That's that
Yeah.
back-to-back possessions.
Right. Yeah.
So the other team, so the Patriots got the back-to-back possessions. Now, fortunately for the Jets, they didn't score in either one of them, but they just as easily could have.
The other thing about taking the ball letting the other team take the ball on the road it quiets the crowd down. The crowd is going to lose that the momentum
right.
that they
That's a good
had
point,
at the
yeah.
beginning of the game because they have to be quiet for their offense.
Right.
And then if you can stop their offense,
yeah.
takes maybe some of the air out of the crowd too.
Right, and
I will always defer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you're
Always
getting the
defer.
ball
Yeah,
in the
I want
second
my
half,
defense on
Yeah.
the field, especially at home.
Yeah.
me
For
too,
that
but
reason.
Yeah.
To your point too, in the second half, then you're getting the ball in the second half when people might still be in the concession stands. It's a little
Yeah,
quiet.
that's
No
a
one,
good point,
the second half doesn't always
Right.
start off the same way. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seemed like it worked on. It's even when it worked, they still, if the Patriots were able to execute like they have in recent weeks around halftime, they still would
Now,
have been in a hole.
in a weather game, especially when there's wind, if you take if you elect to receive and you win the toss, don't you get to determine which half
What
on the second
side?
half, which side of the field you're going to defend in the fourth quarter?
Well, I think if you take the ball, the other team picks which end they want, right?
But then,
Is that correct?
in the
Right. So the other team could decide that we're going to defend this goal and kick off both halves or something like that.
Yeah.
You could do that.
yeah,
You have the option
Yep.
in the second half to either take the wind or take the ball.
right,
If
Yep.
it was like extreme wind.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes, you're correct.
I didn't have a lot of
Exclusive.
things on my bad list tonight because
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the the Thursday night mode.
Yeah,
I think these are the way the Thursday night games generally like. I know what you're saying, Fred, and I don't think you're wrong. I
Kyle
would
Williams
love,
is in my disappointed list.
I would love
very disappointed.
to spend the next hour bickering with you because I love bickering
Yeah.
with you. But
But-
I agree with you. I don't think it was a great, crisp performance, but it was a Thursday night performance that
Right.
was more than good
That's
enough.
Yep.
that's it for me.
Yep.
That's it for me.
And I also don't think they're all that capable of playing that much better. Like, we've seen greatness at times, every game. And then periods where we're like, Josh doesn't know what he's
Yeah.
doing. What's he running for?
How much of a fact do you think basically losing Williams for the majority of the game made?
Yeah, a little bit, sure. I mean, I think we should say too, it's a good sign that he, came back briefly, and then, I was saying at that point, just hold him out. But yeah, I think they definitely have some injuries. That's another part of this. With
That's a concern to me.
No Hooper, no Booty, no Stevenson. I mean,
And
they
now
were a
Milton with
little,
the ankle.
yeah, they were a little bit shorthanded, and so I don't know.
He played
We'll see how it
8
plays.
snaps, and he came back on a third down, like the first third down of the next drive. He came back in, and my guess
And
is he
sat
was
on the
like, I
sidelines.
can't
Yeah.
do it.
And I don't know what's going on with Landry, but let's
Yeah.
hope that this extra few days helps him because he just doesn't have the burst.
Yeah, his
He doesn't have
production's been
any
low.
quickness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to keep an eye on him, but not that he's on the good list or anything, but Ponder showed up a little bit, and he's
did.
getting some chances.
He did, and he did last week too.
Yep. So maybe that's a positive sign. Saw a little bit of Anthony Jennings too recover. Johnny on the spot with the fumble, but yeah, it's definitely a concern. I mean, I tend to think Landry's still a little banged up from that ankle injury. I thought he was gone for the year when he hurt his ankle there against New Orleans, and he's been toughing it out, but no question,
Yeah,
you
the
need
Williams,
juice off
the Williams
edge.
injury would be, in my view, if he were out long term, I'm saying, that would be the first significant problem
Yep.
since Gonzo in those first 3 games.
Yeah.
That would be, he's played very well for them. And I'm, you guys are right. Like, I'm not telling you, I can't quantify it, but I don't think the defense was quite as good as it has been over the balance of the game. It's always that first drive, and then they lock it down. They didn't lock it down in the second half of this game. The Jets moved the ball every time they had it in the second half. The first drive, they were in Patriots territory and got a very close intentional grounding where he kind of ran out of the tackle box and maybe was back in it, and maybe there was. I like intentional grounding. I think they need to call it more often, but they don't call
Why'd
it
they take
very
so
often.
long to call it too?
Because they have to make
They have
sure
to-
that the guy is where he's supposed to
one's
be,
there,
and there's
okay.
no one in the area, and they all have to talk.
There was
Yeah.
certainly no one in the area.
I was like,
but
I
the
see
question
no
was,
one.
was he between the
Yeah,
tackles?
I think
okay,
I
okay,
think
yeah.
they should call that more often. I'd like to see that penalty that they called tonight called
regularly.
regularly.
When needed.
But that stopped that drive. Then the next drive, I think they went down and scored a touchdown. The next drive, I think they went down and got stopped. Like, they had the fumbled snap in between. That was the only stop they really got in the second half. Then they drove down and, were inside the 15 to end the
Right,
game.
right. Turnover on downs.
So,
They're
it
Lee
wasn't
Williams.
like, the Jets just don't have that kind of an offense that they're going to put up big numbers. But
Right.
245 yards for them, it's like 100 more than they had last week when they scored 27 points.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the tackle box. He's
Yeah,
close.
Yeah, he's in it.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's
according
no
to that
one.
red
There's no
line.
one there. That's to me, that's intentional grounding. But they don't call this a lot. They don't call intentional grounding a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good call, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
we got through all of it. I mean, we
And
covered the
now
injured.
we talked. Williams injured. Anyone else got nicked up?
No one
I
that
think I think Chasen was limping around on the sideline at one point, but I think he was back in there.
Diggs took a fall that had me a little
Yeah,
concerned. I
people
thought there was
said he
something wrong
was
with his
kind of
hip.
holding his hip, but he
he's
came
not-
right back in.
Yeah, but he's a fighter.
He's a
so,
gamer.
Yeah.
Would have been worse
Tough kid.
if he caught it. I feel like he would
Right.
have gotten smoked.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was,
Hospital ball.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
I mean, it,
That might have been his only bad throw of the night.
scary.
Yeah.
yeah.
He
I mean, it
almost
has
got
to go
down.
down as a
killed.
drop, but that might have been a business decision by Diggs.
It's close.
Right.
Well, we'll forgive him of that.
Okay, we're getting calls. I know the fans are excited about this one, so we'll go back to our friend
We'll
Patty.
see.
In Agawam, I hope so, right? We'll see.
know.
Patty, how are you feeling?
Fred,
This is therapy
tough
now.
grader.
I'm feeling good.
You're feeling real
I
good.
was
Sounds
texting
like.
my fellow I was texting my fellow Whack Packers, and I just said, at the beginning of the season, I said I'd be happy with 7 to 9 wins, as long as they were making progress. And I couldn't have envisioned this. Like 9-2, I can't believe it after the last couple years of crap that we had to sit through. And I was listening to you guys and watching the Amazon post game, and Vrabel and Drake Maye were sitting down with their crew, and it just seems genuine. It seems like these guys really love playing. Like Maye loves playing for the guy, and this whole team loves him. And what this team does is, it doesn't matter if they, Thursday night or in Buffalo against a good team, against Tampa Bay, against the crappy teams, this team just wins. And I'm just excited, guys. I can't wait to see where the season goes. We got 6 games left, and that's friggin' crazy.
I mean,
think
if
about
they
it.
go 3-3, they have 12 wins.
I'm sick of this. I'm not sick
Yeah,
of the 12 wins.
it's nuts.
That's
You
crazy.
got to get the 13.
It'll be 12-5, so you won't be sick
Thanks,
of it.
Patty.
Okay. Let's get to 13, though.
All right, we're going to head somewhere warm. Miami. Steve, send us that heat
Steve.
if you're awake.
Steve.
Steve in Miami.
Wake up, Steve.
Steve.
Press the button.
All right. Luke in Georgia. I just hung up on him. Sorry. Luke, are you up?
Hey, you got
There we go.
Hey,
We
Luke.
got you.
Hey, so I am ecstatic. Never in a million years would I have thought we are where we are right now. But being a spoiled Patriots fan and relatively not a ball knower, I just feel like the past 2 weeks we've kind of
Oh.
taken naps.
Oh.
We're getting a 2-score lead or so, and then kind of taking the foot off the gas. Now, I enjoyed the game, loved the game. It was great. Happy to win, happy to have a winning season. But do y'all concur? Is it something we're doing? Is it something opposing teams are doing? Or is it just the Thursday night Willie? And I'll take it off air.
Okay.
Thank you.
So why can't
What's the
they?
question?
I didn't-
He's,
yeah.
he's saying the last 2 weeks you get a 2-score lead and you kind of take your foot off. It seems like you take
Oh,
your
took a
footing,
foot.
take your foot off the gas.
I don't know. I don't know if I put it that way. I understand what
I
he's
don't think
saying,
it's
though.
intentional.
I think
I
He's
just
it's
think
physically
more,
people are looking for
fatigued.
perfection. I
Right.
think people
Yeah.
are looking at the record
Mm.
and they think that they're at a level that I don't think they're at.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, they're expecting, it to be perfect every time. And what's encouraging to me is that you're seeing the flashes of the plays. I don't think you can expect those on every down, but I don't think it's too much to expect a little bit more consistency. I mean, that's probably the next.
See,
you know,
I kind of think it is. And I think that people are looking at this team like it's like the 14 Patriots. Like, once the Patriots had control of a game, they're going to take a 2-score game and make it a 4-score game because they were that good. This team isn't. This team is better than the teams it's playing each week. Not by a ton.
No, the
Yeah.
difference
Not
is
by a
Drake
ton.
Maye. I mean, think about it. The run game isn't really that consistent.
They averaged 3.3.
I know, that's- I'd say
Henderson
it's
averaged
not good.
3.3 yards tonight. He
Yeah.
had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I know he's going to get a lot of flowers for it, and he should. He's playing really well. I don't mean to say that it's on him, because it doesn't matter if it's Stevenson running. Didn't matter if it was Dearness Johnson tonight, got 3 carries. They don't run the ball very well. I'll give them credit tonight. When the game was over, up 13, they ran it 3 times for a first down.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's
But
part of it, Paul.
And I don't mean, Mike, I don't mean to say you're wrong.
This is as
you're
good as
right.
they can be.
Yeah,
Period.
but I kind of think it is. I think that they're playing very well every week, but they're not going to play 60 minutes of flawless offense.
Yeah. Well,
Not with the cast that they have.
I just start to
The
try.
quarterback is almost perfect every
Right.
game.
I would just start trying to
What
find
were
a run
May's
game.
numbers today?
25 for 34 for 281 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
106.7.
But it's just if this is how it looks
107.6.
It's
like.
an average game for him.
I was a little dyslexic right there. 107.6.
If this is how it looks like with him, with no running game at all, I don't think it's too much to expect that Ramondre Stevenson comes back and maybe you find some stride in the run game, and then it takes some of this pressure off of Drake Maye. I mean, to me, that's part of it too, that it's all kind of on him right now. And yeah, they made some big plays last week that really changed the game. But if he had a consistent run game, and it doesn't even have to be dominating, but consistent, it might be a little bit more favorable in the number of
course.
third and longs he's trying to get.
I would agree with that.
So can
But
Ramondre get back?
I've watched
and-
11 games, and I haven't seen a consistent running game in any
Oh,
of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
So I totally agree. If they ran the ball better, it wouldn't be on Drake Maye to convert 3rd and 12 every time.
Well,
You know what I mean?
the Miami game, like that one, it felt like they got a little juice from Ramondre, and it was a little more rounded. But now, this might be a next year thing. This might be a thing where we say, look, we got the kid, we got Henderson. We need to build around him. We got to figure out this offensive line.
Maybe we
and
get
how
another
can move the ball around.
receiver, who makes us a little better. Maybe Fred's guy comes back, and some of these struggles in the second half. If Booty was there, it would look a little different. I feel like they play pretty well most of these games. It wasn't perfect, but they're 6 for 12 on 3rd down, 336 yards. The only drive that I really was annoyed with was when they take over on the fumble and they go 3 and out.
Yeah.
That can't happen. But, Bryce Barringer doesn't get a lot of work. He doesn't punt a lot in these games. I think their offense is pretty good every week. Now, this kind of leads back. I think Fred and I are on a different page from you and Evan. Evan made a comment, sort of an offhand comment during one of the PU shows this week where he said, they have, an explosive offense. And Fred just stopped in his tracks. Would you characterize this offense as explosive? And that's what, right? I'm not mischaracterizing you, right?
No.
I sort of fall in the middle of you two, but I know exactly what you're talking about, Fred.
Yeah.
I think that they're generally scoring around 24 points a game.
Yep.
When you take out, this is a perfect example.
Yep.
Take out the 3 that they gave you.
Right.
And it's 24.
Right.
Now, you could say they missed a field goal. I would say they gave you 3 on that one, too, with the guy dropping the pass at the end of the half.
Yeah.
Which gave you that possession.
Yeah.
But you take out the kick return in Miami, you're low 20s.
Yep.
You take out the defensive scores that get set up, the punt returns from Marcus Jones that gave you 14 to get you into, their offense has been very consistent, and it's very consistently around 25 points.
I'd be if I could say,
Which is good. That's a good offense.
It is, I wish I could say, well, that they're just playing with their food, but they're not. They're not. They're doing enough to win these games, and at the end, they're usually ending the games on a knee, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
ending the game with the ball in your hands, with your quarterback taking a knee. That's huge in this league.
And
So
And when they
we got
haven't-
nothing to complain about, but they're not an explosive offense yet.
Well, is
they're
there a
not.
difference
I'm in
between-
between.
is
I'm
there-
not ready
yeah.
to say that. I'm not ready to say it's an explosive offense just because they have all of these, explosive plays. But I'm not willing to say they're
Well-
not explosive.
Well,
Right.
is there a difference though between explosive and high scoring? Because I think Paul's saying they're not
Yeah,
high
well,
scoring,
they're
which
not
they're
high,
not.
They're not high
They
scoring.
make explosive plays though,
Okay.
way more consistently
And
than
yes,
I've seen this
okay,
team in recent.
fair
years.
enough.
And when
God,
needed.
Mike.
Yeah, right.
Yes, 100
Right.
times.
So
Yeah.
Comparatively to the last 2 years, it's like this is the 99 Rams.
Yes, they are making X plays, Mike. No doubt about it. I mean, Drake Maye, for a while, I don't know if it's still true, but he was the best downfield passer in the league.
I mean, he still looks like it to
Yeah.
me. But that's where the weird nuance of it is. Because Paul's right. They don't score 30. And I think by some measures explosive means, oh, they're 30,
But it's
35
like,
every
it's like
week.
tonight,
but
we're watching the numbers. We're watching Drake Maye, and you know Evan has a crush, right? So let's face it. Let's call it what it is.
it's more than a crush.
Mike and
Drake Maye lover.
Mike and I sometimes have to hose Evan off during games. So, we're talking about where his numbers are, and I go, if he had hit that one, if Hollins was able to hold on, I go, that would have given him his first 300-yard game.
Yeah.
And he goes, what are you talking about? I go, he's never had a 300-yard game. Now, 300 is benchmark.
Right, in the NFL.
Just-
Like 400 is exceptional.
Right.
300 is like, oh, you had a really good game today.
Solid game.
He's had a million games like tonight where he's like 280-ish,
Yep.
which is really good.
Yeah.
But to your point, I wouldn't
not
classify that as like
explosive.
explosive.
Right.
Now, I think he's like third in the league in yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, six 20-plus plays tonight.
Yeah.
From
But they're like 22, 23.
yeah, 20,
like,
21,
same
22,
range.
23, 23,
He's
26.
consistent.
Right?
Yeah.
Which, again,
It's not
like Mike and I will sit here and we watched the last 2 years. I'll take this
Right.
any
Oh,
day of the
right.
week.
Yeah.
This has been great, but there's to Fred's point, I just don't want to beat up on Fred because he sort of sees it differently. I know what Fred's talking about.
yeah.
I'm in between.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that it's just not so cut and
I
dry.
was here in 07. I know what an explosive. I know
No,
what
that
an
was-
explosive
You, sir.
offense
Yeah, right.
You,
looks
sir,
like.
are not
right,
explosive.
right.
I know
Those are
explosive.
X
seen it.
plays and 38 points a pop. Essentially when they were flying with
Right.
all things.
Right.
And so I mean, there's just some nuance here that they hit a lot of 20-ish plays, but not enough to score consistently in the 30s yet. But you hope that they're
Like even
they're
the
able to get
game
there.
last week, you end up with 28 and it looks great. Like you're trying to run the clock out at the end of the game and you rip off a 70-yard run. Like that's not explosive.
Right,
Sure,
right.
It
but
is.
like that's not really
Yeah,
an
yeah.
explosive offense.
Yeah.
Bombs away,
Right.
back and forth,
Do
up
you know
and
what
down
I mean?
the
Right.
field.
Saying, yeah.
You're
Well,
not
I mean-
expecting that. Like Bill used to say, you're not calling that play expecting to score a touchdown.
You know what? Next week though. Next week against
Next
the
week, I
worst
think,
defense
but you're gonna
of
need,
all
but
time.
you know what? You
You
got to
know,
make
that's
sure
what they try to do
You
it,
got to
you
make
know?
sure you make that defense look like the worst defense in the league. Just like tonight, I wanted to. I'm a tiny bit disappointed in the defense tonight because I wanted to see them look like they made Cleveland look
So,
inept.
Agreed.
so like an explosive offense is like the 4th of July, like a 20-minute firework display instead of 4 or 5 bombs going off.
So every
Right, right.
drive
You
you're
know?
getting something
You're like
good.
a bottle rocket.
This is
offense.
this
Yeah.
is like we went with Paul up to New Hampshire. We bought we bought some bottle
Yeah,
rockets.
you bought
and
some-
yeah,
a
bought
couple
some
Roman
M80s.
candles.
Why are you
some, the
telling
Roman
me?
candles, the
Because I live
M80s.
in the North Shore. I have to go to New Hampshire.
Right.
A couple
you're
big
close.
booms,
I
couple
pick you
big
up,
booms,
but not the
Yeah.
whole professional.
right. It's not the 4th of July yet.
Freddie knows him. Freddie knows some New
Is
Hampshire
it New
stuff.
Hampshire?
Freddie
They
has
got him
some
up there?
experience.
They got
up
him in New
there.
Hampshire,
yeah.
right?
Freddie had a wonderful wedding in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
really?
I got married.
Fireworks?
in
Yeah,
Oh,
fireworks.
goodness.
Oh, afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Big budget for that one.
Were they explosive?
No.
Hey, now.
It was a younger time. Yeah, Diggs running really seriously. I'm just watching the regular
Replays.
one of the TV broadcasts showing some of the highlights too that Chris has already run through. Some of those runs by some routes by Diggs though.
Oh,
He's so
He's just
dependable.
so professional.
yeah.
So dependable. Yeah.
He's got a really unique.
Mike, aren't you
kinda
glad they
style.
got Diggs?
I'm so glad. I
I know how
always,
much
I
you.
had such
I,
a
ho-
crush
I know
on
how much you didn't like him.
Well,
I'm
I'm
glad that
seeing
we
now
got him.
because it's reminding me when you're on the other side of it how maddening it is because he's great on those gotta have it moments, and that's with Buffalo. So many times we saw him
that
doing
again.
exactly what he did to the Jets tonight and what he's been doing all year long. And I mean, I just speaking like having covered his press conferences now in the locker room like every week we get he's just saying all the right stuff.
His-
I don't know
his
what he was like
development,
younger
too.
in his
Yeah.
career. I don't know what he was like off the field or in the locker room if he was, but he has been. We walk in there Wednesday. He's ready to go at his locker. He does not try to get out of it. He's got jokes. He's happy to talk to everybody. He's pointing out other guys on the team. He's just doing everything you could ask of the guy on and off the field.
Those 2 touchdown drives in the first half tonight, I really liked because they were, just methodical. A lot of 3rd and 3s that they're converting with ease. You know, just quick throws, wide open, boom. Just good execution. The one in the second half was one that included like 4 straight wow plays by Drake Maye, which are great. I love watching
the
those
6-play
too.
drive, yeah.
But like my whole thing is like, it's not really stuff you want to rely on. Like Fred said, like him running to the sideline and being like a split grass blade of grass away from,
Yeah, that's what they love, though.
like, but
It looks good.
again,
That
it was
one.
great to watch. Great to watch that drive to start the second drive of the second half. This is the one I think you're talking about,
yeah,
Freddie.
yeah, that's it.
Just a little dump off,
Something light.
Backbreakers, man. It's just frustrating.
I thought he might have been over the line of scrimmage in that one, but they never really showed the line of scrimmage, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah, and the replay looked okay.
But there's no stick on that side.
There was, I think, on the first one they showed. They had a.
Yeah, see, I can't see.
Yeah.
Go back.
All right, let's
That
head
one.
back out to the phone lines. We're gonna go up, not to New Hampshire. Let's go to Maine first. Hi, Peter.
They got fireworks there too.
Yeah, I think so.
Hello, Peter.
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 Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
This is amazing. It feels like just yesterday I was standing in the rain watching the Patriots get beat 6-0 by the Chargers.
Ugh, God.
But I wanted to talk about Robert Kraft getting more credit because, you go way back. He made a bold call bringing in Belichick. He made another bold call showing him the door. He elevated Mayo. He made a really, it was a tough call showing him the door.
Sure.
But then really what's important is both Vrabel and McDaniels both wanted to come back and work for him. So he deserves a lot of credit for the organization he built and that these guys want to come back to the Patriots and coach. And the question, though, also I have, because I've heard a lot of this on Paul's shows, is that it was Kraft who brought in McDaniels, and as if Vrabel had no say in the matter. And I don't think that's true. I think Vrabel wanted McDaniels back just as much as Kraft did.
Yeah, I have no idea.
question.
I assume Vrabel was on board. I mean, you're not going to bring in the head coach and not have him agree on who his offensive coordinator is going to be. So, but yeah, I agree. I mean, you have to admit failure. So, and in tech, there's a saying: you fail fast. With startups, and you pivot and you go a different direction, and sometimes that's not easy to do. And it was, I'm sure, it was pretty hard for Robert Kraft after having promised Gerard Mayo that job, and Gerard Mayo waiting for that job for the years that he did. Then he finally gets it, and then Kraft has to tell him after one season, you're out. Yeah. I'm sure that was a real difficult thing to do,
Absolutely.
but he had to do it.
I mean, it's even more interesting to me after Brian Costello kind of confirmed some of the reports that we heard about. Vrabel had a meeting the Friday before the last game of the season. So
they put a hard press on.
The Jets did.
Two days before we were sitting here in the post-game show and the news broke that they, had let Mayo go. I mean, Vrabel had already met with the Jets. Mm-hmm. They wanted him. So, I mean, that to me would have been the worst possible scenario to let a Patriots Hall of Famer like Mike Vrabel get to the Jets. So, it seemed like they had to move fast if they wanted to get on that. So, yeah. We're grateful now.
Yeah, so that
it worked
I mean,
out
we
that way.
didn't know that at the time, but now we do.
They made the right move. All right, Spee in Fresno. Hi, Spee.
Up, Spee.
What's going on? Yeah, I mean, I still feel bad for Mayo in the way that ended, but man, I can't be more grateful. Man, this is unbelievable. We're 9-2. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just I can't believe it. I feel bad for the guy for Mayo, but this is unbelievable. Like, I did want a more definitive win against the Jets. I wanted full on like anal prolapse, but it's Thursday night and they didn't get there. But man, I just can't believe it. I wanted to ask you guys a couple things. Like, there's that first drive where it seems like the Jets ball is down for 7. I have this mythological idea that the Patriots are so, I don't know, awesome that they're just waiting to watch the other team score and they're going to figure it out and adjust defensively. And I mean, I've almost kind of seen that in the past in the various iterations of the dynasty. And I wonder if that's a mythology and I'm just seeing what I want to see. And the second thing I wanted to ask before I hop off is, because the fireball is kicking in. When you're thinking
just
about
kicking in.
when no, it's kicked. I'm kicked.
Everything is fine.
Yeah, it's only 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock in
it's early.
Those
Fresno.
days. It's a
You got
Thursday.
time.
As they say, everything is awesome. But no, with Drake, I wanted to get your guys' takes, like comps on him, both like in two ways. One as like a leader or personality so far, but then separately as a player. Because as a player, I'm doing like a combination of, I don't know, Favre and Manning, and I don't know. But it's a smorgasbord, but I wanted to hear your guys' takes on all that, and I will absolutely get out of your way for it.
So
Have
come
fun,
for
Speed.
Drake Maye.
I mean, I think the easiest one is the Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. There's, he's in that vicinity of big mobile quarterbacks with arm, and he doesn't quite have the size and kind of the brute strength of Josh Allen. He's not quite maybe the cannon that Justin Herbert has, but I don't know. Those two guys are
He's
very
got a
unique
little
to me.
bit of Brett Favre in him.
Yeah,
He's got
I
a
think-
lot of Josh Allen in him,
I think all of them are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys have good ones
Love
all
that right on
around.
the screen. We have the regular season MVP odds. Drake
Yeah.
Maye still leading the pack.
A lot of MVP chance tonight.
A
in the
lot
crowd.
of early
it
on
was
too.
Fun. It was a good crowd.
It
So are you
was.
going to be one of those guys that, and I mean not necessarily you specifically, but
Those guys.
the royal you.
Use guys.
Are you concerned if he wins the MVP with the, the lack of Super Bowl winners?
Ooh.
I think
What is that?
The trend.
Mahomes won the MVP in the Super Bowl in
Mhm.
22, I believe. Before that, you had to go back to 99
Oh, for an MVP who
for
won
an
the
MVP
Super
who
Bowl.
won the
Oh.
Super Bowl the year he
I,
won. The year he won the MVP.
I didn't know
Yeah.
it, so I wouldn't have been concerned about it. But now I am. Paul,
Oh,
thanks a
my
lot. I
goodness.
don't want him to win.
Now Deuce won't be able to sleep tonight.
No,
I don't
I
care
don't know.
about
I don't
that.
really. I don't
I
really
don't care
think,
about nonsense like that. That doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
I don't. I just
that
think.
people pretend
I don't
matters.
even understand what you're saying.
There's been one guy who won the MVP in the Super Bowl in the year he won the
Ever,
MVP.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
In
So
the
you're
last
saying if he wins the
25
MVP, we're
years.
almost certainly
It's like feels like a
Right.
it's not going to win the
just
Super Bowl.
not gonna yeah.
Yeah.
Even he
Yeah.
didn't want to say
I
it.
think
I'm
things,
not worried about
things
that.
that are coincidences don't worry me.
Yeah.
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 Like if you could give me a fact to say you can't win the Super Bowl if you win the MVP, then I would not want him to win the MVP.
Right.
But it's a coincidence that Tom
Only one
Brady
person, yeah.
didn't win the Super Bowl in 07 and 10 when he won MVPs. They certainly had teams that were good enough to win the Super Bowl in 07 anyway. I don't know about 10.
Yeah.
But in 07, they certainly, were 20 seconds away from being undefeated.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was because he won the MVP that they didn't win the Super
Right.
Bowl.
Absolutely.
No,
yeah.
I just think it's an interesting. I like the debate, and I've always been a guy that errs on the side of for MVP. It should be the guy who elevates his team the most, not the best player on the best team
That I
with
think
the
is
most
May's
talent around
strongest
him.
candidate
So
right there.
as everything we've just talked about, that
Preach, Mike.
every day, every game, it's someone new stepping up around May, but ultimately he doesn't really have a running game, and he doesn't really have Jamar Chase out there. So
Makes him valuable.
to me, this is kind of what the MVP is supposed to be. The guy who is really just elevating the team, especially doing it like the way he's done it kind of out of nowhere too. That's just, I know that doesn't count towards MVP voting, but I never would have expected this this year from him, and it's remarkable, and it's fun to watch.
It's great to see. And there's still so much more to come here on the Patriots Postgame Show presented by DraftKings, including Deuce. You're going to give us what the Patriots can build upon after this win tonight. So stick around. Patriots Postgame Show. We'll be right back.
This Patriots postgame show is brought to you by Massachusetts 250 campaign, commemorating a history of possibility. Plan your revolutionary weekend at massachusetts250.org. And by Brunt Workwear. They make work boots and apparel that are built for the job site. Their gear is comfortable, durable, and named after the real workers in the trades that help design it. Save $10 on your first order at bruntworkwear.com/Pats or with coupon code PATS.
The future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it. So the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience.
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
Let there be ideas too big to stay ideas. And the software to make them soar. Let there be anything. Autodesk.
We want to hear from you. So call the hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at podcast@patriots.com. Now, back to the Patriots Postgame show presented by DraftKings.
Thanks for sticking with us here. Deuce, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. It's time now for the Building the Next Legacy presented by Autodesk, the official design and make platform for the New England Patriots. Autodesk Construction Cloud is a platform trusted by contractors, owners, and our New England Patriots to design and build the next legacy. And guys, I might have done them before, but we're going with Drake. I got to do it. After these 11 games, this kid
might stick.
Put together an MVP-esque campaign, and I'm enamored with the young man, the progress he's made this year, the plays he's making down the field. We talked about it for the last 3 years, talking about how hard it is to find the guy at quarterback. Patriots took the third quarterback in the draft, and they got a really, really good player. So for me, if you're going to build the next legacy, Drake Maye is a great place to start. Just excited to see here as we get down to the final 6 games what this kid is going to continue to do. But it's been really exciting, and I think you can feel the excitement from Patriot Nation and everybody just acknowledging how good Drake Maye has been. So we're going to build the next legacy.
I like
Drake
it.
Maye's the guy.
And I think we could build on him every week, not to give you your
I know we
answers,
could.
but
I just
wait.
feel like I got to make sure I give this kid his flowers.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's been so impressive what he's done. And you wait for some ebbs and flows, and there have been microscopic ones, but for the most part, he's been on an upward trajectory this whole season long.
Absolutely. All right, stick around with the Patriots postgame show. We'll be right back after the break.
This Patriots postgame show is brought to you by Pepsi. Game day is here, so stock up now. Grab a refreshing Pepsi Zero Sugar 12-pack now because tailgating deserves better. And by Tostitos. Football fans know traditions matter. They are what inspires us to make our masa and Tostitos the traditional way, starting with whole corn kernels. Discover your next tradition this football season. Head to the store, grab your Tostitos team bag, and scan the code for a chance to score an epic experience with the Patriots. Tostitos, tradition matters.
The future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex Disc contours to it, so the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience,
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
Let there be ideas too big to stay ideas, and the software to make them soar. Let there be anything. Autodesk.
We want to hear from you. So call the hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at podcasts@patriots.com. Now, back to the Patriots postgame show presented by DraftKings.
Back into the show. All right, we have a full house as usual during this part of the show. Matt Smith, Paul Perillo, myself, Kwani Lunis, Mike Dussault, and Fred Kirsch. And Matt is always the bearer of some good sound for us.
Well, that's to be determined.
Well,
Kwani.
we'll see. I
That's
hope
to be
so.
determined.
I'm hoping.
Well, what do we got here, boys and girls? What do we think?
You know, we feel good.
I want to know what Mike Vrabel thinks.
All right. So without any ado, without any further ado,
well done.
let's go to the videotape and hear from Mike Vrabel.
Players, our staff, I thanked them so many times just being able to roll in there on Monday, have stuff prepared. You know, it's hard to, go on the road to Tampa, and get your mind, ready for that, but also in the back of your mind, you've got a whole nother box about, what are you going to do against the Jets, and being able to get on a plane, come home, get in late, but have that ready to go and have energy and a game plan ready for the players on Monday at 1 o'clock. So thank the trainers, thank the staff, the strength staff, everybody involved for getting our players ready to go for the game here in a short week.
Your fans were chanting MVP for Drake from the minute he came out in almost every series. What did you make of his performance tonight and his performance in general en route to
Well, I would say his
your
performance
record?
in general has been, what we expect. And, we have high expectations for Drake. He has high expectations for himself. He'll continue to improve. I know that he'll stay humble through this all. And, again, and as far as the performance tonight, I thought it was, again, in first view, pretty good. It was good enough to win. We took care of the football. We just have to, continue to focus on the little things, operation, unforced errors throughout the offense. The only thing that's really stops us is us, offensively. So continue to do that. Let them enjoy a win on a short week. And like I told them, I'm excited. We're 9-2. I'm excited that I don't have to see him till Monday.
Milton Williams went out, looked like he came back, gave it a go. Was it a situation where, in a different situation, that maybe he could have gone?
Maybe I made just a decision that it felt like, we should probably just start treating that thing and get ahead of it and see where he's at here tomorrow and the next couple of days, and try to weigh. Again, he wanted to try to go, and say he's out here standing with me when guys are coming in, and he's excited for him. So I appreciate his leadership, but I just made a decision that I felt like was best for the team, and that for his instance.
What strikes you about this fan base?
Well, I think they're passionate. I think that they have high expectations. I think that they're loyal, and I think they're knowledgeable. I think they understand what it is that they should be seeing. I think they, like I said, we've got to give them reasons to cheer and be excited. So yeah, I think we've done that. I think that they've in return have given us a great atmosphere to play in front of.
What are your thoughts on Travion Henderson and what he's brought the team?
I would say the best, couple runs he had were there late in the game when it's tough sledding and we're in 5 minutes and they we're going to run and they're blitzing and everything else, and looked like we were going to be short, and he's able to knife through there and keep his pads down and pick up a huge first down. So he's executed, whether that's a check down or the touchdown in the back of the end zone, and no home runs tonight, but I thought he grinded out pretty much what was there. So he's, helped us a lot of ways tonight, and saw the power push touchdown, which was really cool. And so I'm happy every time that, guys can help us and they can get into the end zone, and Christian Barmore can finally get the sack that he's been looking for, and he's had a lot of pressures and he's been back there, and, they work really hard, and I want them to all have success.
Last question, Taylor.
The Jets came in with one of the best return units in the league. What were you able to see on the initial viewing that allowed you to slow them down and contain them?
Well, I thought we got off blocks. They didn't give them a lot of space. Our Schooler got triple teamed one time, went down there and made a play. We punted well. The Gunners did a nice job. But you're right. They have a really good return unit. I thought our kickoff coverage took a lot of pride, and I think we've done a really good job of covering kicks. And so that was a good challenge. They stood up to it. It's a good unit, and I was excited to watch them, bring some energy to the sidelines. I told you, if everybody's going to get up off the bench, we better give them something to cheer about. So thank you, guys. Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Very even.
Think he means
deal.
that? I think he does, by the way.
What's that?
Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's just saying that. I think he means that.
Watch some.
He means it.
Oh, no, why wouldn't he mean it?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
maybe I'm just
Why would you
comparing
say
him maybe to others.
Oh, you
Just
thought he was being
Belichick
facetious?
say that.
just because we used to have a coach that never acknowledged anybody.
I was just saying, Belichick wouldn't have said it.
Very nice.
But if you tell someone to have a good weekend, why would I not believe you?
And Vrabel's been authentic all season.
Have a nice
long.
weekend, Paul.
So,
I roll.
so a little post-game nerdiness that it might only just interest me, but it was all out of order tonight because, the Amazon post-game show, it's a big show, by the way, for those that were around here. They come in very, very heavy, and they had a big post-game show, and they had Mike and Drake Maye on. And there was probably, I don't know, a couple hundred people that were in the north end zone cheering them on, yelling, Vrabell, 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 and MVP and stuff like that. Those guys had a little bit of fun with it, but that threw off their general post-game kind of order to everything. So he came in, Mike did a little bit breathing heavy because he's been out there.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
I asked, why did it seem like he just played in the game?
Yeah.
Now
So,
I understand.
It's a little inside baseball
Thank
on
you
the
for
post
telling.
game.
I think he sounded, and rightly so, very satisfied.
Proud.
With where they are right now. When he started answering and he was talking about the Tampa stuff, I was like, don't do the Bill thing. Like the, oh, woe is me. Like we had to play on the road. Like, and then none of that. It's like we were able to get focused, focus on that game while having this game in the back of your mind. Really happy with the way that they prepared. I like the way he answered that. I thought he was going in a different direction at first, and I sort of think he took a quick right turn. And I think he's really, really happy with the way that they've been able to each week be ready to go. They haven't laid an egg yet. Probably since the opener.
Yeah, and I appreciate his tone because it's not overly enthusiastic. I think we've noticed the last few weeks that despite win or loss, he's trying to maintain that even keel mentality because it's reflecting in the locker room too. They understand that yes, we can enjoy these wins, but there's still a lot of more work left to do in this season, and he's the leader.
I think
for that.
He's genuinely happy for his players.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And they know that.
And he
They
daps
sense
everyone
it.
up after the game,
Right.
each and every player. That says a lot.
You know where he's not even keel? My opinion.
Yeah.
So what was the final play that put it out of reach? A Henderson run where they got a first down and so that they could take a knee. As soon as that's in the bag, headset off, down the line to everybody. Big smile ear to ear.
So they
goes
see
into the tunnel, and which is his thing to do. Congratulates everybody, not just the players but the staff. That's where and then he's got an unbelievable ability after all that to bring it down to the media and just it's a good game. I'm really proud of our guys and. Yeah, that's really interesting. So that was a coach. Let's hear from some players. And you might be surprised at the late addition player that we had at the end. Maybe not surprised at what he has to say. A little tease for you there. Cool.
Yeah, I think just a quick turnaround. The goal of these Thursday night is come out with a win, and that's what happened. Things we look back on, didn't have as much time to prepare for. Some things that I could, look back at myself and, wish I had plays back. But, at the end of the day, just proud of these guys for the effort, the win, and that's the best thing about, Thursday night. You get a weekend to catch up on some rest and some heal up. But I thought his fans were awesome. I think it was pretty sweet for the primetime game here for my first one at home. Pretty sweet, and then just glad we won.
Couple of games in a row now that we've heard the MVP chants for Drake. Just as a teammate, what's your reaction when you hear those?
Shoot, he's my MVP, man. I love him to death. As a player, obviously, I love him to death as a person. He's my guy. I'll go to bat for him, wherever he wants. I love competing with him, love playing with him, and just love being on this team with him.
Very proud of the guys. Short week. We knew what it was. Get recovered, get moved on to the Jets. And I thought we had great focus all week, and it showed tonight.
Drake, has anything surprised you about your personal success, this team's success during this run, surprised you that you didn't know about yourself? And also, as you start to near the playoffs here, what are the top things that you're looking on improving?
No, I don't think anything surprised me. When you put the work in and you got good players and good coaches, you're going to get a result that you want. And obviously there's been some results this season that, some losses, and you build from that and learn from it and try to learn out every week. And, I think we're going to enjoy the weekend and get ready for, next one on Sunday. I think it's Cincy. Is it Cincy? Yeah. So just trying to say 1 week at a time.
He's playing at an elite level right now. I'm biased, but I think he's the best player in the NFL. There's no game that we're out of when we have him. And he's just, even though how good of a player is, he's an even better person and an even better teammate. So that just makes it that much more cool to, be able to share the huddle in the locker room and be friends with somebody like that. I just, look forward to the future and just continue to play with them and grow with them. And as we all continue to grow in this offense, and, he's got everything in front of him, and I'm super excited to be a part of it.
My favorite bromance, by the way.
By the way,
I am so Team Campbell.
That should excite Patriot fans.
Yeah.
I think you got a quarterback who's 23 years old.
Yeah.
First round pick at tackle. Go to Celtics games together.
Yes, sitting
little bromance
courtside.
going.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That bodes well for the future. That bodes well for the future.
Yep. There you go.
Anything else stand out to you guys from the post game sound? I mean, everyone obviously very happy. Hunter Henry, that's my
Yeah.
guy, MVP. Of course, if he didn't say that, I think we'd be concerned, obviously.
No, just I think they're all probably excited to get maybe a day or two off and get
Yes.
away
Yeah.
from it and just kind of catch their breath for a second.
That's
and,
my big takeaway.
Yeah.
Relief.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like they made it.
Yeah.
They won the battle of preparation, Paul. Wouldn't you say that was a big thing
Yeah.
that Mike said at the
They
beginning
made
of
it.
the week? We got to
think
win
it was
the battle of preparation.
It was important for them. You know, like I don't like to me the Thursday night games at home are must wins. They're very rare that the road team wins, especially as you move on later in the season and you get tired. So I think this was a good performance. I know that I sound like I'm maybe a little bit higher on the performance tonight than most. I don't think that game was ever in doubt. Not for a second.
Mike hinted at one thing that I didn't put in there, but I thought it was interesting, and I hope that maybe we take a little deeper dive into it for the Do Your Job on the sports performance team. But they had a plan, he said, mapped out for every single guy and what they were going to do this week, meaning that they didn't want Fred Kirsch to come in and say, I need a massage, but Morgan Moses was already on the table, that Fred Kirsch knew that this was his time for a massage because Morgan Moses is going to be at this time, and they had it all lined up for everybody on the team.
You're getting a massage before Morgan Moses? I don't think so.
It's a hypothetical.
He's the hype man. The hype man's got to stay loose.
I definitely want to get on that table before Morgan Moses.
You deserve it. You've been here a while.
Campbell actually also said that he didn't think he liked the short turnaround. He goes, I admit it, I'm a young kid, but I like the short turnaround. He goes, my guess is Morgan Moses probably feels a little bit differently than I do.
Yeah, the older guys. Yeah, and
No,
that's-
this is going to be a good weekend for them. Just I hope, like Christian said, they do sleep in and they don't. You know, some of these young guys like to then run. It's like, okay, let's go. Have a good time.
Go to the college game on
Yeah,
Saturday.
you know,
there it is on the
just
sidelines.
Burn the candle at both
Yeah.
ends, but just relax.
Yeah.
Just
What- do you think part of the theme though coming up is like they're gonna be the toast of the NFL over the next 3 days? Like
They're gonna
in
get
the
a lot of
pregame
flowers.
shows and every you know they're the first team
National
in the NFL
TV.
to win 9 games.
Yeah.
They did it in
Best
front of
record as
everybody.
of right
so
now, of
now
course.
does it become a little bit about managing expectations and not listening to the hype because Drake Maye MVP? All these things are going to get louder this weekend when you have all these pregame shows on Sunday morning that this is what they're going to be talking about.
It's
The
a different
Patriots are
challenge
back.
for Mike and the staff, don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah,
Who would have
yeah.
guessed that, by the way, back in July, that they're going to have to temper expectations after 11 games?
Yeah, and tell the players, hey, everything you hear this weekend, don't necessarily buy into it
It's
yet.
their first Sunday where they can actually be home and watch those games too and hear everything that's been said over the last few weeks.
And be smart, make good decisions.
Yeah,
of
and
course.
I mean the other part of it.
I always tell the story. No, I always tell the story when Belichick was coaching the Browns. He was good friends with Will McDonough from the Globe, and it was the bye. I guess the bye was early or something like that, and so no, it wasn't. It was right after. It was right after.
I think it was in the offseason.
Yeah, it was right after minicamp. So it was in the summer, and Bill invited McDonough over to Nantucket to play golf. So they're teeing off, and Bill's, addressing the ball, and he's about to hit it. Steps back and just starts like, McDonough's like, Bill, what's the matter? It's like, no matter what you tell them, they're going to go out and get in trouble. Like
you never know what they're doing. You never know what they're doing when they're not here.
Right? Yeah. And that's all he could think about.
That's real.
Yeah.
With the free time.
The other part of it for me too is just maintaining this team energy through a weird few weeks. You're going to have now
schedule
a little bit of a long break till the next game. Then you got a little bit of a long break again on Monday Night Football, right? Then you've got a bye week where you're going to get away from it. So it's kind of a sporadic schedule over the next few weeks. Can they keep this momentum rolling? I mean, in some degree, game every Sunday, 1 o'clock. They really did a good job. This Thursday, short turnaround, they were able to prepare for it. But, it's just something to think about mentally, kind of staying in the mode.
And it just brings me back to 2007 when they went on that run. And, because they had so much talent, they made it look easy. But toward the end of the season, it wasn't easy. There were a lot of games that weren't all blowouts.
Yeah, Jets, Dolphins.
Green Bay, I think. Philadelphia, that Giants game, the last game of the season. And it was a grind. Yeah. And afterwards, when they lost that game, it came out and they said, we did probably not, we probably did take it. I don't know what. It was Brewski.
The pressure.
The pressure. Like, we let the pressure get to us.
Yeah. I mean,
so just to add to what Mike is talking about, how it's going to be, a little bit of an odd schedule it also coincides with the first stretch on paper of difficult games.
Oh, yeah.
Like they had the Buffalo game and they had the Tampa game. They were kind of one-offs.
Yeah.
Now they have, on paper, I'm not telling you any of these teams are like world beaters, but Cincinnati, the Giants,
Giants aside.
and then Buffalo, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have 3 out of 4, and I don't care what Cincinnati's record is. That's a talented team.
They can put points on the board.
So
No
that's
question.
3 out of 4 where you will likely be tested.
Yeah.
You haven't had that yet. Yet, you know, like
Yeah.
it's been Buffalo, then 6 weeks later Tampa or whatever
Yeah.
it was in between those 2 games. That's it. You know, in terms of
Yeah.
teams that were, you know, more talented than you. You know, these teams either are less talented or even than the Patriots that you've been playing week after week. So that's a different challenge.
And they're going to have to play better, Paul. Okay, they've won 8 straight. That's terrific, but they haven't, especially I think in the last couple of weeks, looked really sharp. And I think this schedule challenge that they've got coming on, how do they keep sharp when the competition is going to get better? That's going to be the challenge for the staff, I think.
All right, quickly before we go, let's get to the few calls we have left. Everyone's happy right now. Kevin in San Fran, you're up.
Hey guys, Gail, how we doing?
Hey.
Good.
No questions, just a couple of comments. Paul actually laid out earlier in the week about how many of these games on Thursday nights are very close. So we'll take the win. Good finish. I would like to see them be a little stronger offensively in the second half, but we'll take the win. One of the things that was said today on one of Paul's shows was that Vrabel came to the Patriots because of his love for the team, et cetera. Felger said it was solely because of Drake Maye. And tonight, in the post-game show on Prime, they asked him specifically what was the reason for coming to New England, and he said without hesitation, Drake Maye. So we're going to have to listen to Felger.
Vrabel said that? Wow.
Interesting.
Vrabel did say that, yeah. So we're going to have to listen to Felger gloat tomorrow.
You don't have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Listen
have
to
to.
these guys.
But
You do have a choice.
So
No, I will because I'm addicted.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, Kevin.
no, and that like
Thanks, Kevin.
I don't really see like. Does that make sense? Like I'm deciding between 2 jobs. One has nobody at quarterback at the time because
Yeah.
they didn't even have Justin Fields at the time, and the other has Drake Maye.
And the Raiders didn't have anybody at the time either.
Well, those are the only 2 jobs he was weighing his options
Sure.
were the Jets and the
Right.
Patriots.
Yeah, but you know I asked you this
Like,
week about the
why?
Raiders. Why wasn't Tom in on that?
Yeah,
And maybe
I don't
the
know.
no quarterback thing, that's maybe he looked at that as well and said, they don't have anybody
But
at
as far
quarterback.
as I know, I don't even know that he even inquired
Right.
about the Raiders
But
job.
I never.
Maybe he did.
We never
Maybe he
heard
did.
that when he was hired.
No.
No, but he mentioned it in his opening press conference about Drake Maye and his ability, and he was asked about Maye.
Yeah, but I never heard him say, "I came here because of Drake Maye."
No, I never heard him say that. I'm actually, to be honest, very surprised that he would say that.
And
No, I mean, he also said when he came here for his Hall of Fame induction that it isn't like this everywhere,
place
and that
else.
was before Drake Maye was here.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I do think there is some
Level
nod
of
to wanting
nostalgia.
to be here.
Yeah,
I
for
agree.
sure.
But that said, if Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback, he'd be the head coach somewhere else, in my opinion.
I mean, how many times we got to talk about you need a quarterback? They have an uber talented kid sitting there. Like,
you go,
I mean,
Mike.
you
no,
know,
but the reason why I'm kind of interested in this thing is because when Vrabel took the job, I mean, we didn't know that Drake Maye was going to be this good this year.
Oh,
All the way to August, Fred, at least.
But
no
now
way.
I'm hearing that
no
he
way
did.
did anybody know that.
But
no, he didn't. He knew he was talented. He didn't say
Right.
he knew he was going to be this good.
Well, I mean, he came here because he thought he had a quarterback.
He had the talent at quarterback. Yes,
Maybe
he had a
this
good
isn't-
young quarterback.
Not Ryan Tannehill.
I think both things can be true.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's go to G in North Carolina.
I think Ryan Tannehill played like this for him.
Yeah.
He probably said, "I got a guy that can do that." I mean, Ryan Tannehill had like a 122 passer rating for a season when Vrabel was there with Arthur Smith.
Was that
Like,
the AFC Championship
He
game
probably looked at that as, "I think he's even better than Ryan
Yeah.
Tannehill. I can win with that kind of quarterback."
Yep.
Yeah. All right, G in North Carolina, you're up.
what's up, G?
Unless you're
G-Money.
sleeping.
G-Unit.
All right. And Ivan, last but not least, in California. Ivan, are
Hey,
you with
gang.
us? Hi.
I am.
Hey.
I think you guys are going to need a bye after tonight.
And we will have
Yeah.
one.
I'm looking forward to my Red Zone Sunday. Thank you for asking.
I want to go bye-bye.
I'm sure you are.
We need a live
Well, listen,
camera of you watching Red Zone.
Yeah, there you go. That's a thought.
All right. Thanks for calling, Ivan. No, I'm only kidding.
Love, love. I mean, I tell you, one of the things I love about this team is it's really fun and enjoyable to root for. I mean, obviously, based on everything we've been through, at 9-2, no one ever anticipated this. I mean, to me, I think I've said it before. One of the earlier times I've called is that I'm enjoying the ride very much. At the same time, I think the lack of running game and letting offenses just run down on our throats every single time on the first series after they're obviously wanting to not let that happen, I think it's going to come back to bite them. But in the meantime, the future, not only the present, but the future is very, very bright. I mean, super, super impressed with not only Drake's talent, but just his attitude and how he goes about it, and how about short arms and his demeanor, right? How do you like those short arms now there with good old Will Campbell?
Right.
There we go.
We're in a good spot, and so it's fun. So appreciate the opportunity to be able to share it with you guys, and have a great night.
All right.
You as
Thanks,
well.
Ivan. Thanks, Simon.
Yeah, I love listening to Campbell. Like, I love playing with this guy and being part of this future with, growing with him and being. I love it.
I just love his
love
voice.
Yeah.
I would die for him.
The
I would
accent.
die for
I would
him.
run through a
He's the
wall.
best.
And I love it.
Yep.
All right. Well, that does it for this edition of the Patriots Postgame Show. We head into our baby bye, but of course, you can catch all the Patriots.com content here on a regular basis. For Matt Smith, Paul Perillo, Mike Dussault, and Fred Kirsch, I'm Kwani Lunis. Have a great weekend.
9-2, baby.
9-2.
Hey, this is Alex. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.